Anyways, this is a pre-recorded match. We're playing against Mibak. He's playing as Delhi Sultanate on Dry Arabia. And yeah, we're going to pull our villagers onto Woodline. One villager onto Uvu. Khan is going to go scout. Gold is over here. Pull a sheep. Villagers are going to go come over here. Queue up our villagers as well as an RTC. Opponent sending his scout out. He's got his house and his mining camp going up. And we're coming out to get some sheep here. And yeah, we're just gonna go for kind of an aggressive build here, like we usually do. Going to trade, leverage the trade into him having to push us and losing army, while we have kind of defender's advantage. And we're picking up some sheep over here, just a couple. We're only at 4. He does a kind of a cutoff route here, and he's gonna spot our Uvu. He's getting pretty unlucky with his sheep, though. Let's see. Yeah, he hasn't picked up a single sheep there, so that's a really unlucky scouting pattern for him. Really unfortunate. But he does find our base, finds the Uvu, sees that there isn't a tower rush, which does give him a little bit of calmness, I'm sure, that he doesn't have to worry about that. Incoming tower rush. Let's pick up 1 sheep. And we're coming back now before the 2-minute mark. We have 6 sheep in tow. Compare this to we've scouted about 40% of the map, I'd say. Maybe a little bit more. And he scouted 25%, 20%. So we got a little bit of an edge in terms of scouting, I guess you could say. And we've got 7 sheep in tow, which is great. One little bit of idle time here, 1 villager, so it's going to affect our age up timing slightly. And we are up to 9-2. He spotted our Khan coming from this direction, so coming this way. It's kind of a weird choice by him. I guess he can probably be sure that there isn't he could probably guess that there was sheep still left down over here. So that's maybe why he does it. But overall, I think kind of a weird decision. We are picking up sheep on the top side now. So we've got a really good pick in terms of getting our pickups. He's got a really weird build for Delhi here. This is definitely not a great build. Dome of Faith with 6 villagers tapping up and a mosque coming up this late. So really kind of an awkward build for him. And what was I doing with my Khan? I bring my Khan back to drop these sheep up. I should have just kept scouting. That's crazy. So if I had kept scouting, I would have picked up 2, 3, probably these 4 sheep more compared to his 1 sheep. So it would have been a really good sheep haul. So a little bit unnecessary coming back so early for these sheep. To go up to 10. We had 6 still left, so again, not really necessary. Here we're going for our Mangudai build. For these villagers, they're going to just queue, finish, and they're going to come over here and tap up the archery range as fast as they can, all 4 of them. Give us a little bit of a faster build time there. Yeah, so he's going to pick up these sheep. He's going to kind of save his eco, because he was struggling here. We're getting a lot of mistakes with his build here, so it's not the cleanest build at all. So he's definitely behind here. It says he's way ahead of me in terms of points, but he's definitely way behind. The score isn't always the best indicator in this game. We do pick up 2 more sheep, but yeah, it could have been 100% those other 4, maybe 6 sheep. So he's aging up. We're gonna spot this out. We start tapping this up around like 417, so it should be done around 432. As you see, and 432ish, and it's done. It takes about 15 seconds to build that range when you've got 4 villagers on it. 1 lone villager is like 1 minute, 2 villagers like 30 seconds, and 4 villagers I think it goes 15 seconds, something like that. Maybe it's a little bit less for the build time. Does it say? 30 seconds. Okay. Alright, so it's 30 seconds, and then with 4 villages it drops down to 15 seconds. That's probably what it is though. So he's coming over to scout us now. We're checking out over here. He spots our Mangudai. So he does see that. But he's going for our silver tree to go get it before it sets up. Smart play by him. Again, this is kind of where we are been kind of contemplating. It's just we should start doing just half trade with our silver tree and build a tower and a new market on the far spot and just transition our traders. Here we're kind of aggroing, getting some little damage here and there. And this Ghazi Raider is gonna be fighting us, and we're just gonna be able to kite this. He's gonna have to fall back or lose this. So the Ghazi Raider can catch up and hit us. On 2-1, it's just a slow kind of war of attrition. We're unable to drop this, unfortunately. Archery range should be producing, and it's not. Again, a little bit of a mistake on our part. Again, archery range still idle. So we gotta get better about our macro play in general. Has been off. We're getting our +1 damage though, which is nice that the blacksmith is up early. This is one of those cases where, with the Mangudai opening, I just really wanted to commit to getting a big mass and denying as much as I could. Especially since he's got scholars, that healing can really stack up, and having that extra damage can also really stack up. We do snipe that one vill. Mangudai aggro is a little bit funky. When you're getting chased by horsemen with clubs, the Mangudai decide to snipe the villager first, so a little bit funky with that. Again, a couple Mangudai over, another archery range up. Blacksmith, we're gonna build a stable over here. Blacksmith, no upgrades in Q. He's got really late wheelbarrow coming through, so this is kind of why you can tell his build's a little bit funky. Not the best, not the cleanest of daily builds for sure. And he's transitioning now. Well, he's got his stable, he's got his rage. And he's gonna try to fight us here. Again, we're still cranking out Mangudai. Decent little mass here. Again, I would have liked to have a little bit more. We could have a little bit more here by now, but we're able to take. He's got a couple of scholars here, and we can just kite this. He's only got 4 archers, so it's important. Even though you see archers, not to just immediately run. You can beat an archer in a one-on-one fight with a Mangudai. You can almost beat them on a 2-to-1 fight. I think you actually do. So with good micro, it's actually not half bad. One thing I wish Mangudai could do is while they run, they could select units and still be moving. And he pulls 23 villagers to build this tower. So he really wants to get this food secured. And we see this, and we're gonna go ahead and just commit to kill some archers here. More than anything, like, would have been maybe better to kill villagers. But the big thing is we wanted to reduce this his mass as much as we could. We didn't want him to snowball, so we couldn't be raiding and fighting him on the map. Over here, we are finally sending our first Keshik out. 8.5 minutes, again, pretty late. But we do go into a double stable build. We have a scout coming out, the company army, and more Mangudai on the way. And we're just kind of been raiding and harassing throughout this. And he's been pretty confined to his base, and these raids have really kind of distracted him in some sense. I think we're a little bit too much for him to handle in terms of micro and macro. So it's done a really good job of solidifying our lead here. His scout starts fleeing from our Keshik over here. That's fine because we got tabs on him, and we got a good cutoff route over here with the Mangudai. He's got a couple of sheep, 3 sheep, so it'll be nice to pick those up. And these sheep that we missed out on earlier, I think those are the sheep that we're getting picked up right now. So that's nice. These Mangudai are idle. Nice little group of them is going to mass up there, but it would be nice. We do split our Keshik, or our Khan here. We do mess up our micro because I'm trying to send them to the TC and drop off these sheep. Just a little bit of mistakes here and there. Rotating villagers after 14 on wood onto food, I think is a good idea. I think once you're getting that 14 or so villagers on wood, you really gotta start looking to rotate. You have to be careful about overcommitting onto wood against certain civs. And yeah, it's just one of those things where if you overcommit, you kind of have to go into a 2 TC play because you're over macroing, or even if you're floating a ton of wood like this, you can start dropping more infrastructure. So like dropping additional ranges here is never a bad thing. This idle caching is a very bad thing. You should be heading over on the map. Rally point isn't set, which is unfortunate. So yeah, we got to fix our rally points here and this army. I gotta start fighting my idle military key too a little bit more. And we're going for a raid. We're seeing kind of what we can find. If we look at our vision, we kind of know where his base at. We have a little bit. We have decent vision, not great. And you can see his vision is really, really restricted. And he's gonna go for a play up here. It's an okay army. We could definitely fight this army in the open field and win. If both of our Keshiks are grouped up, but one of them is over here. But the plus side is we got a horseman out, we're getting some more units out, and we got an army in the front of his base with the Khan, and we got this army in the back looking for gold, trying to deny some resources back there. And can't really find anything, but we do hear the Sacred Sight go off, and we can see this as well. We see this army. We don't see this this one Ghazi Raider, but we see this army. We're not too worried about it, and we're able to push his line because we know his army's out there, so we're pretty sure that his army wasn't in here, and so that's what we did do, and we're able to pincer here with both of our units. A little bit unfortunate that we lose our army, or one Mangudai here, and he sends his army at us kind of piecemeal with the cavalry, like not grouped together. He sends the cavalry separated, and that lets them arrive way before the rest of his army, which actually gives us a really nice way to fight him, because we can we can get some damage in free, basically, with our cav, not have to worry about spearmen. Silver tree's going off, getting plenty of trade in. We're getting 73 per turn in. We see this army, and we're gonna actually take this fight. Okay, I'm surprised we actually sit there and took this fight. I think it's good because we're expecting our Keshik to do some more work here. We got this other Keshik coming in. Is this Keshik still idle here? Keshik still idle there. So little macro details can add up to some pretty big mistakes, but overall the Cav is able to clean this up. We've got, we have knights, the early Keshiks, and they're able to do a lot of work. And maybe he could have left my Mangudai a little bit closer. We would have lost this one Mangudai for sure, but again, it's always nice to pick up these scholars early. Even though he's gone Dome of the Faith and they're cheaper, again, once they get a pretty good mats up, and they are expensive, they are gold, they can heal a lot of damage in those fights, so it's always nice to have. We are going for this barracks burn down. We're a little bit out of range of this tower, which is really important here for us, because we can maintain pressure. We're still on 4 infrastructure buildings. We have a blacksmith. It would be nice to drop a gur here, a little bit of a mistake. We're floating a little bit of resources, not end of the world amounts, but one thing that I like is that we have a pretty good amount of food coming out now, with 21 villagers on food. Burning this down is really nice. It forces him to invest in another infrastructure building, and it's going to slow down his military mass. It makes it hard for him to fight us without buildings here. I probably should have sent one unit to go decap that. We sent this scout on a scouting mission to get more vision on the map. If you look at our vision now, we've got a pretty good scope of what's happening in the north. We spot his raiders over here. So I think we're going to try to catch these guys. Yeah, we try to catch them. But I don't know if I rotate down or if I stayed with them. I can't remember. And we're producing more units to push over here in the front. So we're in a we're in a pretty good spot here. Yeah, we're still looking for these raiders here. We'll lose the fog of war. He's over there. And he's transitioning over to this deer patch. And it's like really unfortunate because our scout was like right there. We could have caught it pre-walls, which would have been a huge difference. So we decided to leave this here. We have a tower coming up over here. We figured that we might lose this villager, but we'll see what happens because he is kind of in a stealth forest. And our other scout is over here, getting vision on this, seeing what we can. We have another army over here, so we're probably going to take this army and wrap around and find some weaknesses wherever we can. But here we got a pretty good sized force. We can start burning down this wall and get into his base here. Our villager, unfortunately, is going to die here. And we are rallying our troops up for our infrastructure up there. We're starting to transfer into pastures, using up our wood appropriately. And he's massing an army here, and we see this army, and we see this tower coming up. So we kind of have to be careful because it's mostly there's an okay amount of spearmen here and an okay amount of archers, but we have a decent sized army here, and like we definitely win this fight. We just have to be careful about these villagers escaping, and we see them here, and so we're kind of in a weird spot. If we commit around over here, these villagers can run through the gate. So we're going to deal with the army first, and we're going to send a Keshik and a Mangudai to kind of harass. We have more reinforcements on the way, and we're sending these guys around the back to deal with his gold. We see he's got wood line here, so we're going to have these guys reroute into his wood. And in the meantime, he's got these guys kind of just running around. So they try to re-wall. Not able to kill Vil here. Over here, we're able to get a dive in, and we're getting some kills, which is always nice. His other Ghazi raiders that were over here, they did fall back. He had to come back and defend his base. He is getting gold behind it, and he's floating a ton of wood. But he's kind of in a weird spot, because now he's got to kind of commit to defending this with outposts and garrisoning these villagers here. And a little unfortunate that I mean, it's a good thing actually that was this big, because if it was smaller, his towers could be defending these walls burned down. But if it was smaller, our Mangudai could also be hitting him. So I guess there's a fine limit on size here. So here's the escape that we were talking about. We kind of knew that this was going to happen. So we pull our army out of here probably soon, or do we just commit to this? We might just commit to this. We traded out this army to idle out his wood and get as many kills as we could. We're at 13 villager kills at this point. And we see this army here. We decided to leave these villagers as they are and just let these new units of Keshiks deal with it and have this army deal with these 5, because we'd rather kill 5 villagers secure than be trying to kill 5 on the tower that could be cleaned up anyway. So I think this is the smart move. We probably should have done it a little bit earlier when he was rotating the rest of those villagers out. But we're able to clean this up, and he's going to lose a couple of scholars, and he's kind of over-investing. Well, he's not over-investing in scholars, it's kind of the only thing he can invest in with this extra gold that's getting from the sacred site. And we're just going to fall out of this. Nothing to really be gained here, going under TC, even with all this Keshik. And yeah, he's losing this outpost. He's down, he lost 20 villagers, and GG's out. And we were up to, I'd like to see how many traders we're up to. We're probably close to like 25 traders at this point. Yeah, there's a lot of traders there. We did go up to a couple more markets. And we did drop some more infrastructure. So our macro was pretty decent that game, but again, not the best. And this is again kind of a short match. We're playing against a Rus opponent. And Soulful, we've played him a bunch of times actually on the channel. I'm pretty sure we've seen him. He always plays Rus. And he's beaten us every time, I believe. So against Rus again, the play is usually getting that first aggro. I had kind of a Rus build, but it was really intensive, really close timings, kind of hard to pull off mechanically. So I've been kind of buying away from that and just going for a fast H2 into Mangudai or Keshik. And I've been doing Keshiks, but everyone expects Keshik. Everyone sees Keshik, and it's earlier, and it's an easier to scout as well because you're starting to tap up that stable earlier. That's in that timing. People can expect to see it earlier. So it's kind of one part where I kind of like the Mangudai opening because it's a smaller window for scouting. It's less expected, less meta, and when they see that archery range, most people are expecting archers, but cavalry. And as Rooster going to put knights, which is okay, or horsemen, which is okay again, because you can kite them and, kind of do okay with them early. But versus if you go Keshik versus that spearman, you can win this fight, this 2v1 that happens, 2v2 that happens early on. But your micro has to be just 100% on point. You can't mess up that micro, and it's just tough to pull off. So that's kind of what we've been avoiding it. So off rip, if we look here, we get a scouting around, we found a few sheep, and we see a deer patch, so we're going to take out this deer patch. Might as well. We're playing against Rus. I like to collect sheep before I come around and kill this deer, but we figured we'd go ahead and go for this one, off rip. He's over here. He's going after a wolf. He's got a couple of sheep. Okay, there's getting plenty of. He's got his second scout out, cleaning up this first deer patch. We're going for the next deer patch. Not for the next deer patch, but to finish this corner out. And what do we spawn? See, we see the deer, but we also see this sheep. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish collecting these sheep, and we'll come back and pick this off. I felt like I was safe enough in this corner, kind of in a weird spot, that I could come back and deal with it. And we also see a couple of wolves here. We do miss out on one sheep, which is unfortunate. It's just out of our vision. Oh, we must have seen it, but like you can it gets revealed, but you can only see like up to a certain point, really. So if we look at build, we're at 9-2. Oh, and at this point we see because of the Ubu, we see his scout over here. And we're paying really close attention here. And we see the scout, and it's running towards our TC. So we're ready to garrison. And we garrison just in case, and he just barely gets in our range here. So he loses his scout. Nearby scouts? At this point he did write GG in the chat, so like he had lost. Obviously you don't just lose when you lose these sheep off rip. It's not how it happens, but he is sending a scout at us. And yeah, it's luckily we had our con nearby, so we were able to pick that up and head back. And this is the other thing about this timing. Right now at this time we'd be almost looking to. Okay, he decides to abandon it. He's going for he's gone Golden Gate, so he's going for a fast 2TC here with the Golden Gate. I didn't even notice that. You don't really see that play anymore. It's rare. It's really strong because the timing on it is very quick. I guess that makes sense why what happens. I guess we're gonna finish killing these deer. We're gonna come back to our base. I probably should have just killed these wolves as well, but I probably forgot about taking them out. We're still doing our 6-3-3 split. I need to refine it a little bit for the Mangudai, I feel like. I mean, you're still getting the wheelbarrow, which is nice with the 6-3-3. And you're setting yourself up to get the blacksmith early as well, so definitely little things that can be really nice. In terms of bounty, he's got decent bounty, I feel like. I don't know. Let's see. He's still tapping up here. He's going on to stone now. I think he only has to collect like 100 stone. I'm not sure. So he's aging up. Or he's aged up. We've aged up. We're tapping up this archery range. He doesn't have vision on this, and this is kind of what I mean by the timing window. Because if he had come earlier, he might have seen the stable coming up. And it's just a small window for him to see this. And we're producing Mangudai already. So for him to react, there's just a small window that of like 15-20 seconds for him to react properly, I guess you would say. Yeah. He's put a lot of villagers on the stone. So I don't recommend ever going 14 villagers on the stone. And then he's going to go... I mean, this is a really juicy TC spot is over here. We weren't privy to this information. Yeah, we had no idea. Our scouting was really bad. And we're just finding this. But we have our Mangudai coming over. They're rallying over here just across the map. Just, you know, we don't know where he's at, but we're just assuming somewhere across here, right? Got this golden tickets. Kind of surprised he didn't use it, because usually use the golden ticket. And he over gets stone. It's kind of tilted, I would say, more than anything. But this the Mangudai is really nice here because he doesn't see our Mangudai, he sees a con. He's pulling villages over to build a TC now. Again, there's a boar over here. There's boar, there's deer, there's berries, there's stone, there's gold, there's stone. This is a crazy spawn. He's gonna go in the wood line, which is interesting. Definitely interesting. Typically people it's because my con was over there. Okay, that's probably why. And now he sees the Mangudai. And he tries to aggro the boar. Oh, that's why. Okay, so he's... Yeah, I'm acting like there isn't food right here, but there's food right here. So he's going for this, and he's trying to fast step up this TC. This must be his TC rush play. You can see he's coming in really late. We got another set of Mangudai here, and he just GG's out because this TC is not going up. It might have gotten to like 80 or 90%, but he would have started to lose it. So just a couple of quick matches there. Hope you guys liked them. He did deny our silver tree drop here. So again, but it was close to our base, so it wasn't a big deal. So yeah, just a couple quick matches. I hope you guys liked them, and I will see you on the next one.